Hey everybody, welcome back to Tiny Cabin Life. It's been really fun to see what this channel has been known for over the past year that we've been doing this. I think first it was the 32 square foot travel cabin that a lot of you pointed out looks like an outhouse. Next, I think it was this A-frame cabin here. Now, I think what's brought a lot of you to this channel is our new bike cabin, which is the smallest cabin that I've built to date and easily the most unique. And a lot of you have commented asking to see the build process of that cabin. And so that's what this video is going to be all about today. But before we dive into the build, let's take a quick tour. This thing right here is what I'm calling the bike cabin. I wanted to design a cabin so small and so light that I could tow it behind a bicycle and thus be able to get deeper into the woods, into places where my car is not allowed. The cabin has these drop down jack legs that are adjustable. And so what that allows me to do is get the tires off of the ground. First and foremost, we have windows. We've got 3 in here, 1 on the door, 1 in the back, and 1 right here on the left-hand side. What's great is they open up and we have screens. And I did the same thing with the back window here. I do have very basic electricity in here. I have a little light. It's the same light that we have in all of our other cabins. And then we also have fans. We've got a twin size bed in here, and I'm able to just sit up and, you know, hang out when I need to. There's also room, it may not seem like it, but for Ellie to curl up in here as well. Now, I don't normally like to do build videos for a couple reasons. Number one, I really like to give you guys experiences. I think it's my strong suit as a video creator, but also just it's my favorite thing to do, to actually like go out into the woods, into our cabins, and bring you guys along with me. I think I'm good at creating these ideas for these wacky cabins, but I'm not a carpenter and I don't think I'm the best at executing on those ideas. I definitely don't do things by the book, and I probably do a lot of things wrong. But with that said, I'm really happy that I filmed the process of building the bike cabin, and I hope that maybe you'll get an idea on how you could build one of your own or build something like it. And so that's what this video is really about. All right, all supplies are unloaded and it is time to start the build. The first thing we're gonna do is test out our custom axle, the wheels of this thing, and make sure that it will fit inside our trailer over here. So this right here is our axle. What I did was I took the parts from a bike utility trailer, so that's the black parts here, and then I went out and I found these posts and I used them to be able to extend the width of our axle here. All right, so this is as wide as the camper is gonna be, and it fits. That's great, because what this means is once we build it, the whole camper will fit inside this trailer, and that's how we're gonna transport it. So I'm gonna be doing all of the framing with 2x2s to cut down on weight. So the cabin is going to be 8 feet long, but only 37 inches wide. We're going to start by building our walls here. So this is the frame. As you can see, I'll be able to sit up. All right, one of our walls is done. Now I just have to recreate the entire process again on the other side. We're gonna do this outside now that it's cooled off a little bit. And there you have it, the basic frame for our bike cabin. It's raining, we got thunder. We're gonna call it a day. All right. right, we are back at it today, and the plan to start things off is to finish up this frame so that we can start to put on the siding and the roof. There we go, a door. So now that we know that the door fits, it is time to add our window. It's awesome. I think I'm going to just leave this side for the door as one big piece of plywood. So the plywood will only be bolted to the door here and not to the upper frame. And with that, we have ourselves a door. Now remember, this thing is going to be up off the ground, so we aren't going to have those drag problems. And then on the inside here, to keep it shut, we will have a latch. Well, that's going to do it for today. I'm wiped, and this is the time when I start making mistakes. So I'm going to call it and come back tomorrow. All right, guys, we are back at it. I think what I'm going to start with today is putting the floor in. I picked up a slightly thicker sheet of plywood for the floor, just so that, you know, this stuff is really thin, so that I wouldn't, you know, fall through the floor. All right, before we continue with this build, I want to share this week's video sponsor with you. But before I do, I just want to thank you as viewers and thank the brands that come alongside us on this channel to support what we do. This is what we do for a living, you know, this is how I support our family, and we're so incredibly grateful for that. But we wouldn't be able to do it without you watching and without the brands that believe in what we're doing enough to sponsor these videos. And for that, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. So this week's video is sponsored by a brand called Ethos. Now, Ethos is a company that helps make buying life insurance easy. And you know, as new parents, we've had our eyes opened up to the realities of taking care of our daughter and preparing for the future. The 2022 Brookings study showed that the cost of supporting a child is around $311,000, and that's without paying for college tuition. Now, nobody wants to think about the uncertainties in life, but by preparing for the worst case scenario, we're helping to ensure that Olivia is taken care of. Traditionally, life insurance has been confusing, expensive, and time-consuming. Ethos, on the other hand, focuses on creating a seamless customer experience with a 100% online application process. And by eliminating medical exams and blood tests, Ethos is able to help people get covered in minutes instead of weeks. You just answer a few health questions online, and when you do so, you'll get a quote in seconds, and sometimes you'll get coverage in the same day. It's also easy and affordable. The process is done completely online without medical exams, and for the price of a dinner, we can protect our family. So, if you're interested in learning more about Ethos or getting your own free life insurance quote, you can do so by following the link in the description of this video to get your free quote today. With that, let's get back to the build. The floor is in, and I put some supports on the front and the back, as well as a brace right here, because it would be harder to put those in after the roof is on. All right, take a look. We have a ceiling. It's definitely starting to feel like a cabin in there. First screw's going in. Success on the first one. Yeah! That one worked. We have a roof, ladies and gentlemen. All of my pre-drilled holes worked out. I did not make any mistakes. It looks really, really nice. It's gonna look great once this whole thing is stained. But now it is time for the first initial climb in, where we get to go inside and see how it's really gonna feel. Nice big door to come in through. Full headroom, and this is me sitting up fully. Normally when I'm in the cabin, I'm like really lounging a bit, so I'll have even more headroom. She's shaping up to be pretty nice. All right, so now with the roof on this thing, I think it's finally time to finish up our custom axle and get that thing mounted onto the bottom of this. So now that we have the axle on, we have to put on our leveling jacks. If you've seen my other build, my travel cabin, these are the same types of legs that we use to hold up our porch, our front porch. They're a little heavy, but I didn't know what else to really do here. So I'm going to use them, and if they're too heavy, I can always take them out in the future. As you can see, all the legs are on, and that means it's time to flip this thing back over. So I added in our hitch here. So this is what will actually attach to the bike. So that is on. It is so hot. I changed and I'm already drenched in sweat again. So it's a little rough today, but we're gonna basically have this thing done. All right, so now that we've got the main part of the exterior done, I have a little bit of interior work to do before we stain and paint this thing. Staining and painting means I'm done for the day because it'll have to dry and whatnot. So I want to take care of some of this other stuff before we do so. First of all, we're going to put in fans. If you can't tell, it's very hot. Oh yeah, feels amazing. There we go. We got our lamp up. Woohoo! We got ourselves a light. She's attached. All right, this is the first road test. I'm gonna ride out of the garage here and then I'm gonna take it down the driveway. See how it goes. She's moving. Road test is an absolute success. Some dude at that house back there was just like, next, I'm adding a couple of hooks to be able to hang lanterns. These are the little things that I love that turn camper or whatever, turns it into a cabin. There we go, that's about right. So there you have it, guys. That's the bike cabin. The total cost of this project was somewhere around $300, and half of that was the utility trailer that I bought to make our custom axle. You could probably slash that price down even more by finding something secondhand or just something less expensive. And I hope you guys got some ideas for how you could build a bike camper of your own, or maybe just a little bit more of an understanding of what it took to build our bike cabin. But that's going to do it for this week's video. We'll be back next week with a more experiential video like we normally have, and we'll see you then.